Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So, yarn review time. I like to review new yarns. So at the making of this video it's 1/17/2021. This is a new yarn that Premier put out. It's called Premier FEZ yarn. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So I'm going to go over it a little bit and tell you what I think about it. First off though, I'm going to ask you, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my tutorials, yarn content, yarn reviews, new yarns. I always keep you updated on new yarns, giveaways, whatever I do on my channel. It's always pretty cool here, and I would appreciate that. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. That always helps out. All right, so, oh, and also, I am not affiliated with Premier at all. I bought this yarn myself. I paid the same price everybody else paid, and I do not have affiliated links to where if you buy the yarn, I get paid. I don't care if you buy the yarn or not. I'm only here to give you my honest, unaffiliated opinion on the yarn. All right, let's get started, okay? Now, I did do an unboxing of this, so if you want to see my, excuse me, I got allergies today, initial reaction of me opening this, I'll put a link on the screen right now of that unboxing. And if it's not up there, it's very well I could forget to do that. Look down in the comment section. I'll pin it. It'll be the very first comment. I'll pin that video there. And you can see some other new yarn that I got from Premier also. Okay, so for this one, we're going to start out with this one right here. Okay, so we're going to grab one and we're going to read about it. The first thing we're going to do is read about it. Premier FEZ 464 yards dash 424 meters, 7 ounces, 200 grams. It is 73 acrylic, 15 polyester, and 12% polyamide. It's classified as a bulky 5. The knitting needle recommendation is a 5.5 millimeter, and the crochet hook recommendation is a 5.5 millimeter. You need to hand wash and lay flat to dry. This is made in Turkey, and the color that I have in my hand right now is called terracotta. So when you first look at it, let's bring my camera down here, you can see that there are subtle sparkles that run through it. Isn't that pretty? So it is classified as a bulky 5, and I do agree with that weight classification. I think that's a nice bulky 5. But as you can see, it does have some fuzziness to it. So it's not going to be for everybody, because not everybody likes the fuzziness of yarn. But I did do some working with it, so I have a little bit of project made with it to show you what it looks like. And then I'll pull a little bit of it out and see if it hangs up on itself. So that's kind of what it looks like. I think it's very unique the way that they wound it. When I first pulled it out of the box, it reminded me of a beehive. And then when I read about it on their site, it was really interesting because I didn't know that. But look at that, it looks a little bit like a beehive the way they wound it. It's super cool. I've never really seen that done before. But when I read it on their site, it said it's a bulky acrylic blend yarn and a beehive ball. So I thought that was kind of neat, that it did remind me of what they were trying to do. So it's actually very nice and soft. Now in my unboxing also, I said that it reminded me of another yarn, but I couldn't pinpoint it at the time, but I did figure it out. It reminds me, not exactly, but very similar. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it or ever heard of it. It could be discontinued by now. I have not seen it for a long time. Red Heart Infinity. That's what I was trying to think of in the video, and I couldn't think of it. Now, it's not an exact replica of that, but that would be something similar that it reminds me of. It's soft and it's scarfable, which means that I would wear it against my skin and it would not bother me. So, I'll show you the colors, and I'll tell you about the prices, and I'll show you what it looks like worked up a bit, and we'll see how well it frogs. I haven't even pulled out any stitches on my project yet, believe it or not, so I don't know how well. So I told you this is terracotta, so it does have a very pretty terracotta orange mixed with some gray, and then it has splotches of gray and terracotta throughout it. And this one is called Midnight Blue, I believe. Yes, Midnight Blue. It's very gorgeous. So it has kind of I don't know, kind of a royal blue, I guess, and then it tapers off to a navy blue. Navy is my favorite blue. And then it's going to have splotches in it of the two mix, like right here. Very pretty. I liked all the colors a lot. This one is called Night Sky. They only have 4 colors available at the moment. Yarn companies, when they come out with new yarns, they usually start out with a few, you know, colors to see how well it's going to go over. And if they do well, they add more to their collection. This one is very, very gorgeous. I love black and I love white. Unfortunately, it's just not something I can use for tutorial wise, because I have people have a hard time seeing it when I crochet with it for tutorials. But look at that sparkle in that black right there. So it's got the solid black and the solid white, and then again it's going to have a mix of the black and white that's going to look gray. Very, very pretty. And then they have this beautiful purple, which is called Deep Purple. That's the name of it. And this is the one that I'm working with now. It has the dark purple there, and then a light purple, and then the mix of the two also. So, I said that it's very scarfable, it's very soft, and it is the bulky 5. Now, it is $7.99 online at Premier. Now, that is the only place that I've seen it, and that's probably, at the making of this video, the only place you're going to be able to find it at the moment, because it is new. Later, if it does good, they will probably put it in big box stores. I can't tell you that for certain, but normally that's what yarn companies do. Now, I think $7.99 for 464 yards of a bulky 5 is not a bad price, considering it's kind of unique in the way that they wound it. It's neat the way the yarn is, and I love the subtle, it does have sparkles, but I love the subtle sparkles in them. I think that you could see more of the sparkle in certain colors, like this black one. Definitely can see it quite a bit more than what you can in others. But it's still there, and it's still visible. It's very beautiful. So let's look at the project that I'm working up, and we'll do some testing on that. So I'm crocheting a bit with it. Decided to make a shawl out of that purple, because I could not. I had a project going, and I usually don't jump projects. I'm not one to do that. I usually don't start one until I finish it. But that purple was sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, I gotta use that. I gotta see how that plays out when you use it. So this is what it's kind of looking like right now. As you can see, I have gotten a little bit, the stripiness of it is a little different than I initially thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of striped, the light, and then it would go to a mix, and then stripe the dark. It's kind of a little different than that, but it does have, like, during the stripes, the light, it has splotches of dark, and during the stripes, the dark, there'll be splotches of light. So as you can see, like right here, but it's interesting, and this project has not been color controlled at all. I do like the way it's very lightweight. So this is a very lightweight yarn, and this is going to be a very lightweight shawl. Now the recommendation on this was what did I say it was for crochet, was a 5.5 millimeter. I did not use a 5.5 millimeter because I wanted my shawl to have a drape on it. So I used a 9 millimeter. So this project that I'm doing now, which I will have a tutorial for soon when I finish it, is made with a 9 millimeter, not the recommended hook size, because I don't usually even look at the recommended hook size unless I'm doing a review. I wanted my shawl to have a lot of drape, and in order for that to happen, you need to use a bigger stitch to make your stitches a little bit looser. But I think that it's really pretty, and it's really soft. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull out a row, part of my row, not all of it, because I'm working on this, and we're going to see how well it comes apart. Since it's fuzzy, I kind of thought maybe, you know, my initial reaction was this yarn is very pretty, but it's not going to be for everybody because it's fuzzy, and it's probably going to get hung up if you make a mistake. Now I have not tried to pull it out yet, so we're going to see. It's not hanging up. That is very shocking, actually. That is not something that I expect. It's good. It's good. It's very good that it's not hanging up on itself, even though it's fuzzy. I'm not going to pull out this whole thing because this is my project I'm working on, but I'll go down to the end here of the row. See, it's not hanging up at all. Okay, so that's quite surprising, and that's very, very cool that it's not hanging up on itself. Now, it might hang up a little bit every once in a while. Maybe see these little puffs, it might hang up on a puff or two, but I think overall it's really not going to hang up on itself too much. It doesn't have quite the halo. When I talk about halo, I mean the fuzziness effect right here. You see that fuzz sticking up? That's called the halo that I thought it would at first. But it's still very, very pretty yarn nonetheless, I think. Okay, so it's very easy to crochet with. I said it's going to be, in my initial reactions, I said, it might be hard to crochet with because it's fuzzy. It's going to be hard to come out, maybe because it's fuzzy. And then I said, but you never know, you don't know for sure until you try it. Well, it was none of those. It's not hard to crochet with at all, for me. But I am using a bigger hook than they recommend. I don't know if that plays a factor in it or not. And it's not, it came out like, I couldn't believe how well that came out. That was very, very surprising to me. So, this is me crocheting with it, making my shawl. You can see how easily it's just gliding through my hook. It's not getting hung up on any fuzzies on my hook. Now, I cannot tell you if you use the recommended hook size of a 5.5 millimeter. Let me get one. Maybe it will hang up on itself. I don't know. I guess I can give it a full test. As soon as I find a 5.5. So many hooks, so many hooks. Never the one that you want when you want it, huh? So here I have an eye, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Let's see what it looks like doing that. It's going to make your stitches. It's not going to look well with this project because this project's been made with the 9 millimeter, but let's see if it makes a difference on the way it crochets. No, it's still crocheting the same. It's not hanging up. Nice. It's just making my stitches smaller, which of course that's what happens when you use a smaller hook. I like that. So, not hanging up at all. Even with the recommended hook size, comes right out with the recommended hook size. Perfect, perfect. So, I like it. I think that, so my overall assessment is, I think the colors, every color is gorgeous. They're all very pretty. It crochets fine. It comes apart fine. It really looks different than what I thought it would crocheted up, but it doesn't look, it looks cool still. So, I like that. And let's see, I think the price is a good price considering it's a bulky 5 and you get 464 yards for $7.99. So I'm going to give this a really good review, Premier. I think that the unique honeycomb or beehive shaped, I'm sorry, is so, it's really cool. I center pulled mine for my shawl, and it was really easy. It came out really easy. It hasn't knotted up at all when I've come out. I haven't had no problems with the yarn so far. I'm about halfway through my ball there, and there hasn't been no mess ups in the yarn, no knots or no problems that I've been aware of that have caused me. It's pretty much been pretty stable looking the whole time. Maybe some of it might be a bit fuzzier than other spots, but nothing that's hindered my process or not, and I just kept going and didn't cause no problems. But other than that, I think it's a really nice yarn. I like it, and I think I'm going to buy some more of it after I use these up. Or some of these I might put in giveaways, but I might try using this black on a tutorial. I really like the black. It's very pretty, but I like them all. So I usually rate these yarns on a scale of 1 through 10 based on yardage versus price, how well they crochet, how well I like them. Just my own personal opinion. Now remember, these are only my personal opinions, and they can be different from yours. And just just because I like it doesn't mean that you will like it. I mean, I love lots of yarns that lots of people hate. So, I'm I don't like some, there's a few yarns I don't like that some people just love. So it's really just your own personal preference. But for me, I like fuzzy type yarns. And for it not to get hung up on itself during crochet, and for it not to, well, my particular ball has not yet. Like I said, I'm halfway through and I haven't had no troubles. And for it not to hang up when it came apart, I did that one row and it didn't hang up. That's cool. Now, I'm not saying that's not gonna that's gonna happen for every ball, but for me, so far, everything's been going well. I love the Bulky 5. Bulky 5 is my favorite, and I love the sparkle on it. I think all 4 colors that they have are very gorgeous. So I would probably give this a good, and it's, like I said, it's soft. It's very lightweight because it is a chain spun, there, sparkly chain spun with fuzz on it. So it's got everything going for me to like it. I'd give it a 8.5. I like it a lot. I do like it a lot. It's a nice yarn. I like the way it's lightweight, like I said, and everything. So yeah, just get a good. I think Premier did a good job on this one, and I hope that it goes over well for them so they get more colors, because I think it's super cool. And remember, I always recommend you don't always take my word for it. Just maybe buy one ball and try it out for yourself, just in case you don't like it, because you may not like it, you know. So again, it is fuzzy, even though I haven't had no trouble crocheting with it. You know, maybe I had a lucky ball in it, but you never know. You never know until you try. But so far, everything's been going well for me, and I like it a lot. So good job, Premier. I think you did a really good job on this one, and I'm super excited to get my shawl done, and I'll have a tutorial for that soon. So if you guys have tried this yarn, as always, let me know in the comments. And let me know also which one's your favorite color. It's really hard to choose a favorite. I don't know, that purple was calling me. I really like that black and white though, but I chose not to use it because I'm making a tutorial and it's just, you can't see that stuff on my video very well. So thanks everybody for watching. Again, Premier, excellent job. I really like it. So yeah, thanks to everybody. Stay safe. You know I love you all. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like button. Check out Premier. Check out their other new yarns too. And that unboxing I did, that I'll show you about. I'll tell you about the new yarns. Remember, look in the comment section for that. Bye bye everybody. Have a good day.